Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. The purpose of this webinar is to give new and prospective students the opportunity to learn more about what you can expect as a McMaster Continuing Education student. The webinar will be useful for prospective students, new students, returning students, and alumni who are considering McMaster Continuing Education. My name is Monica Bilan, and I'm one of the information specialists here at Continuing Education. Information specialists are your first point of contact for any general questions or advice, and assistance with creating a study plan if needed. So our agenda for today will cover everything you need to know as a new student. We'll talk about the benefits of being a continuing education student at McMaster and provide current updates on studying during COVID-19. We will cover general eligibility requirements and information you need to know to plan your studies. We understand funding can be a concern for some students, so we'll go over financial aid options applicable to continuing education students. Most of our programs are open enrollment and do not require a formal admission process, but we'll explain the difference. Next, we'll walk you through enrollment process and important next steps to make sure you're prepared for your studies. Finally, we'll go over the resources and supports that are available to you to ensure you have a successful and rewarding experience at McMaster Continuing Education. For those that are looking for more detailed information about a program, please note that we have program previews specifically for each program that you can watch either on each program page on our website or on our YouTube channel. So welcome to the McMaster community. McMaster University Continuing Education has inspired people to discover and achieve through lifelong learning since 1931. Although the continuing education is part of the greater McMaster community, our in-person programs operate from the downtown Hamilton satellite campus. Continuing education focuses on academic credit certificate and diploma programs rather than undergraduate or graduate degrees. We also offer non-credit professional development programs, courses, and workshops. Our academic programs can be used as a stepping stone for further undergraduate studies and professional designations. Many of our courses are evaluated for undergraduate level academic credit, and more than 80% of all of our programs can be completed entirely online. Professional development courses tend to be shorter workshops geared towards working professionals. Whether you want to upgrade in your current field, reskill, earn a professional designation, or make a career change, we offer flexible, high-quality courses that will help you reach your specific goals. On this slide, I've listed some benefits of taking continuing education courses. Students value the industry-specific expertise of our instructors and the flexibility and convenience of courses offered on weeknights, weekends, and online. We offer more than 200 diverse courses and workshops that blend both theoretical knowledge and practical application to help you expand your skill set and advance your career. Areas of focus include business, technology, communication design, health and social services, and other specialized courses. Many of our students are working professionals with families and other responsibilities, trying to advance their careers while juggling other demands. To accommodate these busy schedules, most programs have multiple start dates each year with online asynchronous courses that allow you to do your coursework when it suits your schedule. Depending on the program, you can earn a credential as quickly as 4 months or space out your courses and even take terms off if needed. Many programs have no time frame in which you must complete your credential. Our wide selection of academic courses are 3-unit courses delivered at an undergraduate level and would be recorded on an official McMaster transcript. They can be taken for the purpose of academic upgrading, to gain admission to another program, and are eligible for transfer credit. Our variety of certificate and diploma programs can be a great starting point for anyone new to post-secondary education and a flexible and accessible alternative to a college diploma. A completed certificate or diploma may be transferable to an undergraduate degree at McMaster if you wish to continue to study afterwards. Just an update on COVID-19. Most of our programs have been available entirely online long before COVID-19. For these programs, they will continue to operate in the same manner. Our online self-study courses are expertly designed to ensure a high-quality learning experience that is authentic and accessible for all learners. For those of you who are starting the accounting program, all course exams will be administered using an online proctoring service. Your exam can be completed from the safety and comfort of your home. Staff from the accounting program will provide you with specific details once you begin your course. For the programs that are traditionally offered in person, please note we will not be offering any in-person courses for the fall 2020 and winter 2021 terms due to COVID-19. Many of the in-person courses will be offered in a virtual classroom format instead. Virtual classroom format provides students with an opportunity to meet online with the instructor and their peers to attend live class sessions during the scheduled class day and time listed on the schedule. You will be able to interact with class members through video conferencing, breakout rooms, instant chat, interactive whiteboard, polls, and presentations. It's like being in a traditional classroom, but from the comfort of home with added online content. All you need is high-speed internet, headphones with a microphone, and a web camera, but the camera is optional. Future offerings of in-person courses beyond winter 2021 have yet to be determined. Please see the website for more information regarding course formats. Just a note for international students, there was a recent update from the IRCC, which stands for Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada. Those that intend to complete an 8 to 12-month program that starts September 2020 may still be eligible for a postgraduate work permit by taking the program entirely online from your home country. It's important that international students conduct their own research with IRCC to understand current study permit and work permit regulations, as these are constantly changing. If you have further questions, please email us directly to speak with an information specialist about your specific situation. The main eligibility to enroll in continuing education programs and courses are listed on the screen. A mature student is over 18 years of age and has not attended secondary school on a full-time basis for at least 2 years. If English is not your first language, please review McMaster's English language requirements online. You will see there are exceptions to this policy as well. For example, if you've lived in an English-speaking country for the last 4 years. The vast majority of our programs are open enrollment. This means there's no formal application or admission process. You'd simply review any program-specific prerequisites on the program page, and if you meet those requirements, you can register online. You do not need to submit any documentation as proof. A couple of health programs we offer, such as health informatics and professional addiction studies, require a formal application. For these programs, there are specific admission requirements, and an online application is required. You can visit the specific program page online to view admission requirements and a list of documents you'll need to submit. If you're planning to register or have already registered for your first course, there are a few factors to consider as you create your study plan. You likely have already chosen a program or course that will match your personal and professional goals. We now recommend you spend some time reviewing the program-specific pages for guidance about program requirements, course selection, schedule and fees, instructors, and more. Current and past course outlines are available online and are a great way to see what topics are covered in the course, potential assignments, readings, etc. Course outlines may change between terms, but the documents provided are a good overview of the course and its expectations. Next, you'll want to consider your availability in terms of having adequate time to devote to your studies. Some considerations are: 1, are you currently employed full-time or part-time? 2, do you have children, family commitments, or a busy lifestyle outside of work? 3, do you have a supportive network to assist you as you pursue your educational goals? For example, an understanding in your household that you'll be dedicating a part of your time to your studies. 4, how many hours do you have available each week to commit to your studies? 5, are there certain times of the year that are busier compared to the rest of the year? And 6, how quickly do you want or need to complete your studies? If you're working full-time, we generally do not recommend taking more than 1 or 2 courses at a time. If you've never taken post-secondary education courses previously, or you're new to online learning, or it's been a long time since you've attended school, then we would suggest starting with 1 course to see how you handle the course load alongside your current responsibilities. You can always add more courses to your schedule as you go. If you're working part-time, you could take 2 to 3 courses per term. And finally, if you're not working or full-time availability, you could take anywhere from 3 to 5 courses per term. Information specialists are happy to discuss your specific situation with you and provide you with further guidance. Reviewing the course outlines will help you plan your time, as you can see how much time is needed to be present for the class, either live or online, along with planning time to complete your course activities such as reading, studying for quizzes and tests, and completing projects and assignments. Scheduling an additional 3 to 6 hours per week, in addition to the specified class time and its content hours, is a good estimate as how you can plan your availability. When it comes to budgeting, course fees are paid at the point of registration. All fees are posted on the program website on the Schedule and Fees link. Course fees include the tuition fee and the McMaster Association of Part-Time Student fee. The MAPS fee is for academic credit courses only. Also note that there's no tax on academic credit courses or courses that lead to a certificate of completion. And any courses that require tax, it will be listed on the Schedule and Fees page with an asterisk that it requires additional tax. If you're an Ontario resident, please note that our programs are not eligible for OSAP funding. You'll want to keep budget in mind as you plan your studies, as this could determine how many courses you may register for each term. I'll provide you with further funding options later in this presentation. There are a few programs that have program prerequisites that you must meet before enrolling for a program of course. You do not need to provide these, that you have these prerequisites, but it's your own responsibility to ensure that you have the appropriate background in order to be successful in the program. The programs that currently have these types of prerequisites include accounting, digital marketing, data programs, and applied clinical research. Some programs have a specific order in which the courses may have to be completed, so it's important to review the course descriptions pages to ensure that you're not registering for a course with a listed prerequisite that you've not yet completed. Information specialists are here to provide direction and clarification on any program or course prerequisites that you may have. So on to finances. As I mentioned, students are required to pay on a course-by-course basis at the time of registration. Overall, there are a few options students can explore if financial assistance is required. The McMaster Association of Part-Time Students, or MAPS for short, offers a limited number of bursaries for students who can demonstrate financial need. Students must pay up front for courses and then apply for the bursary through their MOSAIC Student Center portal during the timeframe indicated on the bursary information page. I'll tell you more about the MOSAIC system later in the presentation. If selected for the bursary, the funds will then be applied to your student account. This is something you could apply for each term if you're taking 2 courses or less during that term. Applications are only open for a short time, a few weeks prior to each new term, so it's important to look up the MAPS bursary information online, or you can email us for the link if you're interested in this option. Next, most banks offer student loans and lines of credit that have attractive interest rates and require you to pay interest only until after the completion of your program. If you're working, many employers offer tuition assistance programs. You can ask your manager or HR department if your company offers anything along these lines. For Canadian students interested in government funding or subsidized training options, for example, Second Career, Canadian Ontario Job Grant, please contact your local employment service center. Like many other universities and colleges, McMaster Continuing Education currently charges the same fees for international students as we do for domestic students. Completing courses through this department is an affordable and accessible option for international students studying locally or from abroad. Lastly, it's important to note that fees for academic credit courses are eligible for a tax credit on your income tax return. Tax certificates are issued in February for the previous calendar year. Fees for non-credit professional development courses are not eligible, though. I want to take a moment to briefly inform you about the online enrollment process for those preparing to enroll soon, or for those who have not taken a course with us in a while. For those who have already enrolled, you may learn some helpful tips for future enrollment. Continuing education courses are offered 3 terms per year, fall, winter, and spring. Normally, online enrollment for the fall and winter terms open mid-July, with yearly schedules being posted on our website around the 2nd week of July. And online enrollment for the spring term opens around the middle of March. Fall term runs from September to December, winter term runs from January to April, and the spring-summer term runs from May until August. We do stagger some of our course start dates, so you may end up taking a course that starts in the middle of one term and runs into the middle of the following term. So I'm just going to load up our website here just to show you the enrollment system. So before you enroll, so this is our website here, mcmastercce.ca. I'm sure many of you have been on it already. So before you enroll, you'll want to review the schedule and fees page for your program of choice. So let's choose a program, for example. So when we click on programs, let's choose on business administration. And we'll want to look at the schedule and fees page. So say if you were decided to do the business general diploma, you click on the schedule and fees page. You'll know by reviewing the requirements for the diploma, which are in this link here, that you'll need to complete the 5 core courses, and then you can choose any 3 electives from the rest of the list here. So it's good to check this page before you register because there could be last minute changes that happen to the schedule. So you want to confirm your course availability and dates on this page before you enroll. Once you confirm which course or courses you want to register for, you'd click Enroll Now at the top of the page. So you can click this yellow Enroll Now button, or you can actually click on the specific course name. So if we want to do the first course, Business Foundations, it's a good intro course for the business program. You can click on the course name. and it'll already take you to where you can select the course. So if we're looking online for the fall, we have the 3 terms listed here. Obviously, spring, summer is done for this past year, but we've got fall and winter registration open now. So if we want to do this course online for the fall, since checking the schedule if it worked for you, you'll see it here. So this one's currently full. So if we want to try a different format, we could try. We are going to be offering another online format for the fall term, just so you know, for those that are interested, we're opening up a new section of that. But for now, the virtual classroom format, you can actually select the course on the blue select box there, and it's going to show up in your course selection box here. So if you wish to do just a general search for courses, another way that you can register, so that's one way that you can register. Another way, you can either come to future students and click enroll now, or current students and enroll now. You don't necessarily have to, if you already know the schedule and you're coming to register now, you don't necessarily have to go to programs and business and schedule and fees and click on the course and go from there. You can come here or here and click the yellow enroll now bar. So if you want to do a general search as well, so you can click enroll now. And say if you want to search by the business program, you can go business administration and business administration diploma and go. If you have a specific course you're looking up, you can look it up here. I usually leave these fields blank just to give you the greatest search results. Sometimes if you put in too much, if you accidentally put online self-study versus online, that could limit your search. Or if you're thinking it's online, but it's virtual classroom format instead, it could limit your search. So I kind of leave it a bit open. So you can search this way as well for all the courses, and it breaks it down from required courses to elective courses. So those are listed there. Another option you have as well is if you want to do a general course search on everything we offer, you can clear your search so that you have nothing listed here, and you can just click go. So that's when you leave everything blank and click go, it's going to load up everything that we offer. The only thing to keep in mind here is that there's some courses that have prerequisites, some might be a part of an application program. So if you're not sure if this is an open enrollment course or not, you can always ask us and we can let you know, but that's one way to kind of see everything that we offer. Okay, so if you want to add another course as well, so let's say we're looking at business, you want to make sure you add all of your courses to your shopping cart before you click checkout. Once you click checkout, you can't add any more to your shopping cart at that point. So say if we're going to add Business Foundations Virtual Classroom, we're going to see it, select it and see it in the course selection box. You can return to the search page to add another one because you want to have all those courses selected before you click checkout. So let's say if we're going to do online for business communications, we select that, we're going to see both courses listed there. So important thing to know is that you want to read all the details here. So this one you'll see this is an 8-week course. Those class notes are very important just to read through before you actually register. So normally our courses, our academic courses are 12 weeks in length, but there might be the odd course that would be 8 weeks, especially for a business program. We've got our course description here, what programs you can use this course towards, the unit value, the link to find out how you order course materials, a link to the drop refund policy. We've got a short window for refunds, so you want to check that out. It's important to see. Avenue to learn information and professional association information. So it's all helpful links to review, but when you're ready, that you would just click checkout to kind of get your enrollment started. Okay, so once you click checkout, you'll be asked to log in using one of 4 options. So either Mac ID, student number, new to McMaster, or search match login. If you have and know your Mac ID, you should always use that option to log in. You'd only use the search match option if you're specifically prompted to do so by us. After you log in, you'll fill in all the required fields, anything with an asterisk next to it, and you'll make payment as your final step. If you don't make payment, your registration won't be secured, but you can always try again later if you wish. You'll be asked to select a program of study before you make payment, which will either be automatically populated based on the search you were doing on the course search page. And if not, there will be a button where it'll say add program. You can add your program at that time. If you only wish to take 1 or 2 standalone courses, you don't want to be attached to a program plan, you still have to select a program plan, but we have an option called Open Studies, so you can choose that instead. Once you've registered for your course or courses, you'll be emailed a payment receipt immediately, followed by an enrollment confirmation email around 11 p.m. that night. If you're new to McMaster and this is your first course, you'll also receive an email with instructions on how to activate your Mac ID, including your ID details, within a few hours. You'll use your Mac ID and password to access all the systems you need moving forward. So a few enrollment tips. Google Chrome is the best internet browser that we recommend for using MOSAIC and our enrollment system. The enrollment system will time out. So after you click checkout, you want to intend to kind of go through those steps in a seamless manner within, 10, 20 minutes, however long it is. But that will time out if you leave it idle for a little while, which is okay. Sometimes you might notice if you time out and you go back in, might say that you're already enrolled. If you haven't made payment, you're not enrolled. Just try again in another hour or two. When you do check out, try to click the back button as well. That could boot you back to the main page again. So again, once you click checkout, have the intention to kind of go forward to make payment to secure your spot. Again, if you want to cancel, you can cancel, that's fine. Payment tips. Payment is required at the time of registration, as I've mentioned. If your form of payment is not available, just let us know and we'll discuss the options with you. Enrollment deadline date. So you really want to register by the course start date if there's still space available. So that's why we recommend that you register at least a couple weeks in advance, especially right now, we're offering everything online, virtual classroom. These courses are very popular. Courses are filling up very quickly this term, I have to say. And there's some courses that have already filled up. So I do recommend registering as early as you can just to secure your spot, or else you might be disappointed or you might have to wait to the following term. So the sooner the better, but up to the course start date if you're willing to risk it. So as a continuing education student, what can you do to ensure that you're prepared for your studies? To make sure you're fully prepared for your studies, we recommend reviewing the following page on our website. Let me pop back over here. So under current students, we have a link on the left-hand side labeled Getting Started. So here's where we cover some of the main things you need to know about starting your program. So I briefly mentioned about your Mac ID. So if you're new, you'll receive this within the first few hours of registering. So your Mac ID typically a representative of your last name, first initial as your login. So Smith J, for example. Please make note of your Mac ID and password once you activate your Mac ID and create your password, because you're going to use this to log into everything. So MOSAIC, Avenue to Learn, if you're on site, to use Wi-Fi. So you definitely want to make note of that. If you're a returning student but don't remember your Mac ID or password, we have a Mac ID help FAQs here, which is helpful to go to. Ordering your textbook. So not every course requires a textbook. You can review any textbook information on the Campus Store website. So we've got a link to where we have more textbook information here, but McMaster's Campus Store is where you can do a textbook search, tell you what you need, if you need anything. Not every course will require a textbook. So if it says no textbook for your course, you don't need a textbook. Otherwise, it'll list textbooks as required or optional. Optional books, I usually say hold off. You can talk to the instructor once your course begins to see if you really need it. But required is usually required for your course. Sometimes there'll be the option of a physical textbook or an e-text. So you might have the option of which format you prefer. Sometimes they'll just give you one format. So it'll be listed on the Campus Store website as for everything that you need there. Accessing the MOSAIC Student Center. So this is where you can view your grades, see a history of your courses, fees paid, print a letter of completion, request a transcript, print your tax certificate, etc. It's kind of like your student portal, but for anything administrative. So you won't see your course information in terms of assignments and outlines and all of that. It's strictly just like your student record. And if you need to update your mailing address, phone number, you can do that all on there. If you need to change your email address for some reason, just let one of our staff members know. We can do that for you. There's some helpful tutorial videos. There's a link here, which is great because it'll actually walk you through the system. So you'll already be able to orient yourself to the MOSAIC system. And logging into Avenue to Learn, so A2L for short. A2L is McMaster's online learning management system. You definitely want to bookmark that page because that's where you're going to access all your course details once your course begins. Most in-person courses, if you're taking an online course, all the information will be on there. Most in-person courses or our virtual classroom formats for these next two terms will also use Avenue to Learn. A link to the course will be visible about 1 to 3 calendar days before your course start date. So you won't see it before that time, but the 1 to 3 calendar days before is where you'll be able to log into Avenue to Learn, and you'll see a link for your course if you're registered already. Note that it could take, if you're a brand new student and you're registering 3 days before, it will take a couple days for everything to get loaded in the system. So don't be worried if you register 3 days before the course start date and you don't see anything right away. It does take about 24 to 48 hours for all of that to load up. So you'll be able to use Avenue to Learn to view your course outlines, assignments, contact your instructor, and more. It's sometimes known as Desire to Learn or Brightspace. There's some helpful tutorial videos here. So if you've never used a learning management system before, never heard of Avenue to Learn, we have some student tutorial videos that you can watch to help you orient the system before your course begins. Okay, so let's go back here. So additionally, for those who require assistance or refresher with, say, APA referencing, we offer a few academic writing courses for a fee. Otherwise, each course in Avenue to Learn, once you begin the course, has a Getting Started section with links to resources such as a guide to Avenue to Learn, academic integrity guide, library, research and writing assistance, study skills workshops, and Office 365. The library has some great resources on their website as well, on their How Library Stuff Works site. Please see their citing section on the library's website. These items and videos are free for public use. Just want to take a moment to note the different systems you'll be using as a continuing education student. I mentioned them briefly, so I just wanted to highlight them again. So our enrollment system, which I showed you, you'd only be using the system when enrolling for a course, as it's associated, and it's accessed directly on our website by clicking the yellow Enroll Now button or by clicking on a specific course or on one of the schedule pages. We do not recommend registering directly in MOSAIC. Undergraduate students register for courses in MOSAIC. So we do discourage that for our continuing education students because we've set up our website in a way to be more user-friendly for our continuing education students to register. So even if you are a past undergraduate student and you know how to register in MOSAIC, we don't recommend that. We still recommend registering on our website using our website enrollment system. So MOSAIC, I've mentioned, it's your student record. Where you can view course history, grades, transcript requests, apply for graduation, get enrollment letters, completion letters, view payment details. Sometimes you get that question of, oh, I'm unable to locate my payment receipt, or my payment receipt is missing some important information. So you can actually view in your student center in MOSAIC after you're registered, you can click on a section called Payments, or you can click on the actual purchase and it'll give you the details of the date, how you made payment, the name of the course. So that's there, as well as the tax forms you'll be able to get there in February for the previous calendar, tax year, I should say. And Avenue to Learn, as we mentioned, is McMaster's learning management system for online virtual courses. Students gain access to their course in Avenue to Learn 1 to 3 calendar days before. So it's another reason to register early, so you're not delayed in getting access to your course. Please note that courses are removed from Avenue to Learn shortly after the courses are completed. So you'll want to save any documents that you want to keep for future use or reference right when the course ends so that you don't lose it if you want to access them later. Some other systems you may or may not use in your courses include WebEx for live sessions, if applicable, and Microsoft 365, which allows you to use a chat messaging program called Teams. You'll be provided instructions for these systems, if required, when your course begins. I want to take a minute to discuss some online learning strategies with you to support you with your online studies. On the screen, I've mentioned some myths related to online learning. So there's a misconception that online learning is easy. There's research that shows that novice online learners are more likely to feel overwhelmed when starting an online course due to a cognitive overload from adjusting to text-heavy discussions, technology issues, and a greater time commitment compared to traditional courses. That being said, don't be intimidated if you've never taken an online course. Research also shows that students new to online learning are just as likely to do as well in an online course as those who have done online studies in the past. We see many students come through who have been out of school for years, never taken an online course. If this sounds like you, we know you can be successful and there will be many others in the same boat. Staff and instructors are here to help you and answer the questions if anything comes up. We do have a few course formats, but for the sake of time, I'd recommend you review our course formats link on the specific program page of your program of interest for full details on what you can expect for the course formats for that particular program. Though we're not offering in-person courses for the fall and winter terms this year, it's important to note that our in-person courses still utilize online learning management system, Avenue to Learn. It's important to consider the online learning strategies, even if you intend to take in-person courses. For all course formats, I recommend reviewing those Avenue to Learn tutorials on our YouTube channel or the A2L resource page to familiarize yourself with the system. Understanding course requirements. So read your course outline from start to finish to ensure you have a full understanding of what's required of you each week and when assignments are due. It's helpful to mark assignment deadline dates on a calendar to keep track of assignments, especially if you're taking more than one course at a time. Time management. Online courses still require one to schedule their time for weekly activities and discussions, and to plan ahead to ensure that you're able to submit your assignments on time. All continuing education students are mature learners, and you'll be accountable for keeping track of your work. Make sure to understand your availability and not to take on more than what you can handle, as you may risk losing money in a course if you need to drop a course. Setting up your study space. You want to locate a quiet place to study with minimal distractions. Maybe a home office, a library. McMaster Continuing Education actually has some spaces in our downtown Hamilton building if you live locally. Research shows that divided attention can lead to poor recall and knowledge transfer, so you want to have the least amount of distractions as possible while you're studying. Online etiquette. Most communication will be done through text-based asynchronous discussions online. Your text needs to be clear, professional, and respectful. Students should avoid writing too much text. Try to get right to the point. Otherwise, it's a lot of information for people to read when everyone's already has busy lives and trying to balance other responsibilities on top of coursework. A few more additional tips. Make sure you have a reliable computer and internet connection and have access to Microsoft Word and Excel, as those programs will be used frequently for your coursework. You can also access LinkedIn Learning for free computer courses once you become a student and have a Mac ID and password. For further help and support, once your course begins, your first point of contact for assistance with about your course or with your course would be your instructor. They can be reached through Avenue to Learn. I also mentioned helpful resources available to you in Avenue to Learn once you get access to your course. If you're having any difficulty with your Mac ID login, please visit our Mac ID help page by clicking on current students on the website menu bar. If it is your course start date and you do not see your course in Avenue to Learn, please contact an information specialist at Continuing Education to ensure that your program department adds you to the course on the learning management system. If you're experiencing any other technical difficulties with Avenue to Learn, you'll find contact information for the Avenue to Learn support desk on the A2L login page. Lastly, for any other questions or assistance, please feel free to reach out to a Continuing Education information specialist, as we're happy to be your first point of contact to provide you with direct assistance and or to direct you to the most appropriate staff member or department. For additional information, please visit our website for more program details, course descriptions, policies, frequently asked questions, and upcoming schedules and fees. Please note that due to staff working remotely, our phone services are currently unavailable. However, if you have any questions, please contact McMaster Continuing Education via email at conted, so CONTED @mcmaster.ca to reach one of our information specialists. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your day.